Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And my subscribers have made me aware of a video about Alpha M. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Now, on a side note, I've noticed in the comments a lot more lately, people are saying, "Why, Mr. Jason, I do declare, I believe that you have developed a southern accent again, and it is just cute as the dickens." Well, guys, you guys need to remember, I'm originally from Texas. I've lived in a couple different places, obviously, been around the world, been to other countries. When I started my original YouTube channel, I had been living in the United Kingdom for about a year. I have been back in Texas over 3 years now, so my Texas accent kind of comes in and out. It comes in and out. It's not fake. I actually live in Texas. I was actually born in Texas. So I do have a Texas accent that kind of comes in and out. Sometimes it just comes out a lot thicker than others. I have to actually actively work on not doing it when I want my Texas accent to be completely gone, like right there. But it takes conscious effort to do that. So on to the video. Alpha M. Normally, I pick on Alpha M because I don't want workout advice from this guy. I'm not interested in this guy who has a very little muscle mass. And I know he used to be a bodybuilder or whatever. I'm not interested in his workout advice. I'm really not. I'd go to him maybe if I wanted to learn how to pluck my eyebrows. You know, but then again, I got a girlfriend who's a hair and makeup artist. She could pluck my eyebrows for me if I decided to go full Metro Bro. But I'm not going to pick on him in this video. You know why? I actually agreed with a lot of what he said. Now, that's the interesting thing. I may have actually found some common ground with Alpha M. Now, only two problems I had with his video were a minor little bit about him freaking out about how insanitary sweat is in the gym. And his discussion about clothing so that he could jump into a sponsor so that he could sell clothing and use that to make extra money off video. Those 2 points aside, he had things to say that I agree with. You know why? Because we have both been training a very, very, very long time. And there are a number of things that when you've been training a long time, you can't stand seeing in the gym. And he hit most of the major pet peeves. He hit most of them. The only one he missed, and he could be because he's probably guilty of it, he's kind of a bro, is curling in a squat rack or a power rack, right? That is the only major one that he missed. So what did he cover and why? Why do these piss people off? And why is it important that a bigger channel like him that a lot of young men watch who probably join in gyms, it's important they hear this so that they know that maybe someone they listen to thinks they're a douche if they do this stuff, and hopefully they won't do it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say whatever else I might dislike about the guy, this was a very positive video. It was a good message, and I want to cover a couple of the big ones. The first one he covered, his number one, people who don't put weights away. People who do not put their weights or their plates away. Absolutely. Not only is it extremely disrespectful, it's lazy, and it shows complete disregard for other people, other people's property. And that's not the behavior of a grown man. That's how a little child behaves. Little children don't pick up after themselves. But the point is, yeah, you're strong enough to lift it. You're strong enough to put it on a bar or pick it up and carry it. You're strong enough to put it back. Also, it's good GPP work anyways. It's good GPP work anyways. And I wonder what a lot of these guys are going to do when they get really strong. Then again, if you were to look at some of their hammer strength machines, these guys leave 3, 4, 5 plates aside on. You would think they're strong. But little side note there, guys. In my experience, most guys who can chest press 5 plates on a hammer strength machine for a few reps can't bench press 315. They can't do a correct bench press of 315. So don't think your strength carries over. It doesn't. It doesn't. But yeah, total laziness, total disregard for other people, total disregard. And particularly when you have women who then come in and guys leave several 45s on a bar, women who come in who are fairly novice or older women, they need help unracking the stuff sometimes before they can get started. It's just completely disrespectful to the other people who are going to use your area. And I don't care how tough you think you are, how big you are, how strong you are, you need to have a certain amount of respect that you have for other people around you, right? You need to have that. That's just part of being a decent human being. Part of being a decent human being. So, yeah, I agree with him on that. And yeah, I always re-rack my weights. It doesn't matter how many plates I've stacked up onto a barbell, if I'm deadlifting or whatever. Even if my lower back is cramping from a heavy deadlift, I unrack all my plates and put them back. That's just basic manners, guys. Basic manners. And if that means you have to stop and rest a few minutes before you can do it, then that's what you have to do. And again, it's just good for your overall general physical preparedness to carry all those plates around anyways. You guys trying to get big, strong, and in shape or not? Other big one he hit was hogging of equipment. Hogging of equipment. Like people who are doing supersets and all this stuff. First of all, if you do supersets, you're probably ignorant as far as sports sciences go. Supersets cause less muscle growth than actually doing your exercises separately. So just throwing that out there, you're actually hurting your results. But the other thing is that people just, it's disregard for other people when you just hog equipment. And the most egregious case I ever saw was when I was living in the UK at an actual gym that was owned by a international level power lifter of all things. So it was a very pro power lifter gym. Guy had 4 power racks, right? I came in and this woman, who I'm not going to get into all that, she had her own personality. Most people who think the world revolved around her was obviously very financial well off. But I had to come over and say, hey, I need to use one of these racks. I need to squat. I came in to squat. And all 4 power racks, she had a different barbell loaded in each one, other than the last one that happened to have chin-up bars on it, right? And when I went over to go to that one, she says, I'm doing chin-ups there. Well, she had a strap put over it so that she could do assisted chin-ups, but she had the other power racks with a barbell loaded for a different exercise and was doing circuit training with 4 different exercises using all 4 power racks. Needless to say, I went ahead and trained. Again, very polite about it, but I let her know in certain terms that that's inappropriate. People need to use these to squat and do other things. And it's just ridiculous. That's the worst case I've ever seen. And actually was upset that I wanted to use the last one because it had the chin-up bar. She needed to do her chin-ups as part of her circuit training. And here's the thing, guys. If you actually want to do circuit training, there are gyms that cater to that. Big box gyms oftentimes have whole areas dedicated to that. But here's the real deal. If you're doing this for conditioning, you don't need to be doing your other exercises. In other words, guys are like, well, I'll burn more calories. I'll get more conditioning. That's not how you do it. You don't do that by supersetting a couple exercises. You can do that through circuit training, but you know the most effective and least equipment intensive versions called barbell complexes. Barbell complexes. Been used by athletes for years, for many years. Athletes all around the world for conditioning do barbell complexes. All you need is rubber flooring or a rubber mat, a barbell, and some bumper plates. You can do 5 or 6 different barbell exercises with a lightweight back to back to back to back as a form of general physical preparedness, and it's somewhat high intensity cardio. Right? You can do a barbell complex. You don't need to superset anything for conditioning. Do actual conditioning work with your weights. Your other resistance training, you're trying to build muscle and stuff with, you need to be doing real work. And you're not getting that with supersets. It actually impedes progress. So again, people who hog equipment aren't just being rude to other people. They're not just being rude and disrespectful to other people who are paying to use the same facility. They're actually hurting their own results. They're getting lesser results. And again, supersets themselves have been shown in plenty of studies to produce inferior muscle growth. Let that sink in for a moment. The other one that he hit was, again, a big one. Guys who drop dumbbells. Now, I'm not talking about dropping weights. All right, if you need to drop a power clean or you fail a front squat and you need to drop it, you know what? I failed a front squat last week. And I had to drop a front squat, but you know what? I had it loaded up with bumper plates because I know there's always a chance I could miss it. So I dropped, bumper plates on a Olympic lifting platform. No problem, right? That's different. Guys who are doing this dumbbell stuff, the reason they need to drop the dumbbells is like he said, because they're using a weight that's too heavy. And this isn't just him saying this. This is me saying this. What do I tell you guys? I think that if you can't pause bench 300 pounds, you need to figure out how to train. You probably need to eat more. You can't squat at least 400 pounds and you're a noob and you need to work on that. All right? I say every healthy young man should be able to deadlift 500 pounds. Right? I say this, and even I'm telling you, it's because you guys are lifting weights that are too heavy for you to lift. And it's a good way to get hurt. It's a good way to hurt other people around you. People get hurt all the time from idiots dropping dumbbells, and it damages the dumbbells. So you're damaging equipment. They're not meant to be dropped. You're using weights that are too heavy that are going to hurt you. And it's because guys do partials on all these dumbbell presses. That's what it comes down to. They do partials because they have such an ego that they think that a dumbbell press is a max effort exercise. You know what? You can do a dumbbell press as a max effort exercise, but the only way to do it safely is to start in the bottom position, right? Kick them into position. Kick them up into position. Lay back and keep a pronated grip so that you can get a deep stretch without damaging a rotator cuff or tearing a pec. You can do them really heavy, but again, you're using a weight that you can kick into position and you can start from the bottom. What is the reason you guys do dumbbell work? To balance left and right side? No, that's actually a myth. That's not true. I've covered that countless times. You do them because they have a longer range of motion than a barbell, because your chest gets in the way on a barbell. On a dumbbell, you can come all the way down. You do it for a deeper stretch reflex. That's the only reason to do a dumbbell. Range of motion. There's no reason outside of that to ever use a dumbbell for any exercise unless you're doing something one-armed specifically, right? Well, guys are using a weight that's too heavy for them to get the full range of motion on. And exercises where you're trying to get a deep stretch, again, you're probably not doing max effort. You're probably doing rep work. You're probably doing at least 6 reps. So if you can't kick a dumbbell into position, if you're so weak that you can't kick it up into position, you're probably using a dumbbell that's too heavy for you to do at least 6 reps coming from the very bottom and starting the first rep from the stretch at the bottom. So you're just ego lifting at that point, defeating the whole purpose of using dumbbells to begin with. You're shortchanging your own results. And since you're training all these partials, if something goes wrong, you're using a weight that's too heavy for you to control. You end up tearing a pec, end up damaging a rotator cuff. We saw Devin Physique tear a pec doing this exact nonsense. The spotter ever needs to help you get it started, it's too heavy. Especially on the first or second rep, weight's too heavy. And this is coming from someone who says you should be lifting heavy. So if I'm telling you it's too heavy, you know it's too damn heavy. So if you can't control it enough to get it back onto your lap because you can't do the full range of motion and come down, you're begging for an injury, because that means it's too heavy for you to get down into that stretch position. It feels too heavy for you there. It's your body telling you it's too heavy, that you're going to tear something. And if you were strong enough to get it back into that stretch position, you could easily drop it back on your knees and set it down on the floor. I don't care how much it weighs. You're strong enough to do it. And if you can't, then you're weak. You're weak, you have no core, you have no back, and you need to fix that. That's a problem. You're setting yourself up for injury. Furthermore, people around you get hurt. You break people's feet, break people's toes. You damage your own stuff. I've seen a dumbbell bounce and smash a guy's iPhone, smash his own iPhone because the dumbbell hit the floor when he dropped a 100-pounder and it bounced like 5 feet. And one of those bounces hit his cell phone and crushed it and then bounced a few more feet. Now that was justice. That was karma. That was pretty funny. I wonder if he learned his lesson. So these points that he raised are fantastic points. If you do these things, you're a gym douche. You're a gym douche. You're disrespectful to other people. And you have no manners. You have no respect for yourself. And you have no respect for other people. Don't be that person. I actually agreed with this video. Overall, other than those couple of minor points, I thought it was a pretty good video. So I'm willing to overlook, in this case, other stuff the guy has done and say, you know what, this video by itself independently, pretty good. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.